You ready to record?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. So, I had an idea. Not a big deal. I was watching the last episode. I love Boba-Bryan.
Yeah, Boba-Bryan's great.
Well, the only problem was he doesn't talk.
True.
It's kind of like dead weight.
So, Brian, in general?
I mean, yes, but at least Brian has bad ideas. So I thought about it.
Yeah.
I think I got a replacement for at least this week.
So a guest. An actual real-life guest.
Like a guest,
okay.
yes, but like, a warm body.
All right.
To fill the chair.
Okay.
Yeah. My buddy Lucas.
Hey.
I think for the skit, we can really do. I was thinking like a Vin Diesel kind of car jump.
With Boba-Bryan?
Well, yeah, Boba-Bryan, we put him inside like a little two-wheeler and then we throw him down a hill.
Yo, does that thing have a different face?
Well, you might have to spend charge for that.
What? No. Lucas, we're trying to figure this out.
Yes.
Just chill. We'll be over there in just a second. All right?
Yeah.
Relax.
I don't know. I mean...
Maybe I'm just seeing something.
Fire effects? Who do we even get for fire?
I don't know. Can we just put gasoline on him?
No.
Yo.
Then we will lose Boba-Bryan forever.
Yo, that thing's
you
moving.
got another Boba Fett cutout?
Sure that's not
Google.
actual Brian?
Google one. Yeah. Lucas, we're almost done, dude.
I like your energy, Lucas. Save it for the podcast, okay?
It's just a cutout, dude. He don't move. He's right there.
Yeah.
He's fine. Relax.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Yo, what the hell?
For the episode.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, dang.
Oh, damn it. Holy hell,
Oh,
man.
my God.
What? Are you okay?
What the hell's wrong with that thing?
What do you mean? It's just a cutout.
Dude.
It attacked me.
How did it attack you?
What? Did you not just see that?
I saw it fall on you.
I saw you take it from the room and bring it over here. What else? How else would it move?
This thing's not real, Lucas.
That's Brian.
Lucas, you're fine. Relax.
I'm telling you, that thing attacked me.
How did it attack you?
What do you mean, how did it attack me?
I don't know.
It threw me down on the floor.
It threw you down on the floor. Okay. That thing's just cardboard. How did it move?
Uh-huh. You tell me.
I don't know.
The Force.
Can we just start recording? Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Weird, California, Undersea Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 132. I was like, my name's Rene.
My name's Nick.
And welcome to the show, everyone. Yeah. Sorry.
We got him. And hey!
Yeah.
Congratulations. A nerd got married in Whittier. And his name is Brian.
His name is Brian.
He got married yesterday.
So by the time this episode airs, he is on his honeymoon right now.
Yeah, he is in vacation mode right now. I hope that he is in a stress-free environment, but I know Brian,
he's going to make himself stress.
He's going to stress out over something that probably doesn't need to be stressed on.
I feel like it's going to be about
on honeymoon?
Yeah, while on honeymoon.
I feel like it's going to be something about Andy's late on something. They're late at a little reservation.
Why is the eggs Benedict runny? Why are they runny? I don't get it. Why can't they be solid? I don't understand. Yeah. Why are they so runny?
And he's listening to this and I'm gonna laugh. Was he? He's like, dang it.
I asked for egg whites only.
Yeah, I'm healthy. What was it? As some of you may have noticed, for this week, we actually did call in a friend of mine, Lucas Belhumer. He is a graphic designer and was a good friend of mine. He's been in a couple of different podcasts that I've been in. Don't look for them. They're not great.
Yeah.
It was back when we were learning.
It was the early years of YouTube.
The early years. It's like Degrassi.
We might still be on SoundCloud.
I'm pretty sure they're there.
There's one in particular that's like.
But we wanted a little bit. We wanted to kind of change it up. Like last week, we got a nice me and Rene.
Yes.
And everything else.
But sometimes we need a third person.
We do need a third person.
It's always good to have a threesome, you know.
Yeah. It's always good. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to. Boba-Bryan got upset earlier.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed the skit, let us know. Let us know.
Are we gonna say let us not know?
Like let us go. Let us know what you guys thought.
Let it go.
If you guys don't know, this whole podcast is being edited by Nick.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Which I'm having a difficulty right now because I'm thinking, what was I doing?
I'm not doing a great job editing him into a different position.
I know.
The whole thing.
This really should have been done beforehand.
Right.
I think we just got too eager to record. That's why.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Okay. Is he good? All right. You did.
Is he in the shot?
I mean, the mic stand is what's covering his face. Okay, now you can kind of see the corner.
And you want to pull his feet back just a little bit so that he's leaning against it.
There we go.
There we go.
If you can keep it like that, yeah.
There he is.
There it is.
Hey.
All right, there we go. All right, Boba-Bryan is back in the position.
He's still part of the podcast.
Yeah, he never left. He never left. But how was your week, guys? Was it good?
Good.
You enjoy
I'm
it?
tired from the wedding.
I am tired from the wedding.
Yeah.
The wedding was a lot of fun. What was it? We took a lot of photos, took everything else.
Yeah.
Those are for our private eyes only, unless there was like really funny stuff, then we might post that.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Brian.
Yes.
I hope you are enjoying your. I hope you're enjoying your honeymoon, buddy. And you know, I wish you and your new bride the best. Which are the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything else. But on to funny news.
On to some real news. That's why you guys are here.
Yeah, on to other things. We're going to do a small comic strips and everything else. We're keeping these episodes kind of short and everything. Mark Hamill has retired as the Joker. He says that he will no longer play the criminal prince of crime in Gotham without his Batman.
That's
which
completely fine.
I get it because every single project that Mark Hamill would do, he would always ask, "Is Kevin involved?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and without Kevin, I feel like if Mark Hamill were to ever do another Joker with a different Batman, it would feel weird.
Yeah.
It would just feel weird.
Yeah, it's just that feeling of like, okay, I'm no longer I can't no longer work with this person again, you know.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get the chance to.
Yeah. That was it, you know.
Yeah.
And I completely understand where Mark's coming from, you know.
Of them both retiring the characters
that's
together.
the thing. Yeah, if there's no longer going to be Kevin Conroy as Batman, then that means there's no longer going to be Mark Hamill as Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's completely fair.
What do you think, Lucas?
I mean, I'm not terribly attached.
How dare you?
I mean, I don't really care.
You love Mark Hamill.
I love Mark Hamill. I know that the Mark Hamill Joker is super important to people, and I think that it's great that he's stepping away from the character because if it's not going to be with Kevin Conroy, then he shouldn't do it. I think he's in all the Rocksteady games, right?
He was the Joker for all the Rocksteady games except for Batman Origins.
Okay, so that'll be my most experience with him because and I've seen some of the animation that you've shown me.
Yes, the animated series. Yeah, I mean he kills it in the animated series. I really do love the best thing is I would say is probably his episode the day Batman died.
Yeah.
That's probably like his best performance as the Joker, at least one of them. But yeah, so it's some tragic news, but we get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I you know what? And I was actually really, really happy for the internet because nobody, as far as I saw, nobody was really negative about it.
There wasn't as the kids say, clap back.
Yeah.
I think it's all a very understanding thing. It's not what do you want him to do? Really?
Because there's a lot of times where an actor goes, "I'm going to retire a role," or "I'm going to do anything like that," and they're always like, "No, do one more, do one more. No, you can't retire." Yada yada yada. But I always feel I feel like this is the right way, and for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. Other news and more in Ranger news. We have some Ranger news this week. Is the new Power Rangers is coming out, the brand new season, brand new series coming out from Saban is now going to have a female Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Female lead of the team.
Yeah.
And
It's a permanent thing. It's not like, oh yeah, there's another team that has a Red Ranger.
yes.
In the side, like, characters.
I was about to say that I thought they did it before in SPD, right?
SPD did it. It was the Alpha team, and then Samurai did it.
But as the main, I'm talking about like the main
The
team.
main team
Yeah,
finally
because
has
the main-
a female leader.
Yeah.
They finally have a female leader, which is interesting because they did it where, basically it's the old team.
Yeah, it's Dino Fury.
Dino Fury is getting a new morphers.
Yeah, new morphers, yeah.
And the team is now kind of doing the turbo thing, where it's
Okay.
like they went from Mighty Morphin to Zeo, now transitioning into Cosmic Fury,
Yeah.
which is going to be interesting. So those same actors are transitioning into Cosmic Fury. So it has a brand new morpher, maybe a new bad guy.
Did you watch the video I sent in the group chat?
Which one?
There was a one where it specifically talked about how they're transitioning from Dino Fury to the Cosmic Fury. Basically, they are going after Lord Zed. You know, Lord Zed he has returned in Dino Fury, and he's like you know what's funny? They made him more bulkier. Like he has muscles now, and basically he's the new villain moving forward. They have a chance to take him down, and they're going to do it in Cosmic Fury. But the storyline that they're using from the Super Sentai series that's based off of this one, they are changing the costumes. They are using their own original costumes.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so they are slowly kind of transitioning into like, okay, this is more of like the Western, you know.
It's a Western version of Power Rangers.
Of Power Rangers, of this certain Super Sentai series.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're kind of going off their own thing, which is cool. I think that's moving forward. Saban finally realizes, well, we can
do our own
use
things.
some of their resources, but we can go off of make it our own.
Yeah, I do like the idea of, because the original Red Ranger is now the Silver or Gold Ranger with a cape
Yes.
and everything like that. So he's more of like their extra.
Yeah, he's like, I think of it as that's their version of their White Ranger, like how Tommy was.
White or Green Ranger.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah, there's
extra
always
Ranger.
like a sixth special ranger.
Yeah,
But the leader is, I guess she was formerly pink, and then now she's going to be a Red Ranger.
And then are they like bringing on a new character to be that Pink Ranger, or are they getting rid
No,
of
they're
Pink?
just kind of like, you know, okay, so I think
everybody's colors have been
they're shuffling.
everybody's
yeah.
shuffling.
Yeah.
So now they're shuffling them around, everything else. I didn't see a pink from the picture.
So there's no pink, there's no yellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
No
there's
pink or yellow.
No pink or yellow. There's only a red, green.
There's orange now.
There's an orange or like a golden
Orange.
one.
Yeah, he's like a golden orange.
Yeah.
You can pull up the picture. Yeah, he's like he's an orange. He looked orange to me.
So I'm trying to think. They did like light blue, they've done pink,
It's
they've done
blue.
yellow for
Yeah,
female
'cause
colors.
if I'm not mistaken, it's gold, orange, black, red, blue.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Sixth Ranger is he even the actor says his color is more of a champagne color.
Yeah,
Or champagne color.
Yeah,
he would. That's funny.
Oh yeah, so see.
Okay, so it's yellow, red.
Oh, it's a gold kind of thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's yellow, but
Okay, so he's
Yeah.
more. Okay, I get what he means by it's
Yeah.
more of like a kind of like a champagne.
Yeah.
Red, gold, green.
black. Yeah. So the female rangers will be red
And green. That's what I.
Okay.
and then the male ones will be gold, blue, champagne, and black.
Huh.
Dope.
Yeah, that's nice.
So no
That's
pink.
cool.
Yeah,
No
and,
pink.
and the Sixth Ranger has a cape, which is kind of cool.
That's what makes him different.
Yeah,
Makes him
he's got
special.
a cape.
Unless he has to go through revolving doors,
No capes.
then that would be real bad.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Was it Ninja Force where I think they did like the female Power Ranger was blue,
Yes,
and then the male Power Rangers was yellow,
Yellow.
and red.
yellow
Yeah.
and red were the male ones. Yeah.
Yeah, Ninja Storm. Yeah, they did. It started out with 3 Rangers,
Yeah,
which I like.
I really like that. They
Mhm.
only started with 3 Rangers, and then they added the 2 Beetle Rangers, and then they added
It was the
another
Scar-
Ranger
it was
later
the
on.
Scar-
Samurai Rangers.
Yeah, it was the scarlet and blue. Because he wasn't red, he was like a dark red.
It
He
was
was like a maroon.
Yeah, he's like more of like a maroon.
Yeah.
It always reminds me of Death to Spoochie.
Oh yeah.
Because they end up, because there's 2, it's like gang members trying to kill Smoochie the dinosaur.
Uh-huh.
and
Oh, yeah.
they accidentally killed the
wrong
dinosaur.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, how are we supposed to know that he had a cousin that looked the same way? And he goes, Smoochie is violet. Moochie is burgundy.
Yeah.
Bro, I gotta take you guys back to kindergarten.
I forgot about that. That was supposed to be like...
It's a great line. It's a
That was
great
supposed to
line.
be like...
It's all about
Smoochie-
children's television. It's kind of like Barney.
Yeah.
So, like if Barney had a
I
cousin.
haven't seen that either. I'm gonna really.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys haven't seen Death,
Talented, right?
yeah, if you guys haven't seen Death to Smoochie, it's a great movie. Edward Norton and Robin Williams, amazing movie.
Super good.
I watched Forrest Gump over and over again. And,
Why?
That's what we had.
You just played it on loop.
That and Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are like the only 2 movies.
Those are the only 2 movies you own.
Yeah.
You owned as a child.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that
that's
works.
awful.
You know what's funny? That one movie that me and Nick can't stop talking about every time we talk about our childhood is Hook.
Hook.
I love
Oh,
Hook.
that's another movie that Nick has told me about like a ton about, and I'm just like,
I
You've
love
never
Hook.
seen it?
you know what? It's one of those
As a
movies
kid?
that like I had as a
Uh-huh.
VHS, and I
Yeah.
was like, there it is.
It's right there.
Never seen it.
Never been taken out of the case.
Man, I wore that movie out.
Yeah, same.
And it's
really
great because I
am.
love Dante Bosco.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
as Rufio, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
You know what's funny?
Azuko. I know he's that other guy.
I know of the character.
Oh.
You know what's funny is that I never owned Hook, but my dad was notorious of like recording TV movies
Yes.
when they so we had just like recording tapes of Hook, Hocus Pocus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time,
Right.
and there was like another one, but those were like the 3 that I just kept because it was all in one tape, so I just watched it.
That's
Oh, nice.
But it was so cool because I get to rewatch the commercials that were like
90s commercials
Yeah.
slap, dude. They are so good.
So
So much
I
better
remember-
commercials now.
They-
So I remember specifically when I watched Hook, because technically it was around the Christmas time that the storyline takes place.
yes.
I remember that Campbell's commercial of the kid becoming a snowman, and he eats the Campbell's and he just melts
Yeah.
it off and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was one where the M&Ms are sneaking up on Santa. He goes, "He does exist." It's like,
I always loved 90s commercials because it had a plot.
yeah.
There was like always like a beginning, middle, and an end in a commercial. It's like quickly in
Yeah,
like
90s
a minute,
commercials were like
minute and a
skits.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a minute and a half. They
Yeah.
were like, okay, cool. We're gonna do a skit.
Yeah.
I love how Disney would sell themselves to you like before every single movie. It was just like
This
coming
is-
soon to DVD.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you're watching the Disney Channel.
Oh, they're fucking drawing
Let's
anything.
watch
It's
a
T-Rex.
Disney
Channel
Channel
movie.
movie.
I'm just wondering if like one time they just drew a penis, like just once.
Oh,
just
follow
once.
them. They are not
Yeah.
trying to make you sad. I
I
don't
think,
know what
I
the
think
hell they're doing.
someone did a actual like they followed their wand and it was like nothing close to the Disney to the Mickey Mouse thing. Like someone did an edit where it's like I think they did one for like
Yeah.
Hillary Duff and she did not get close to making Mickey Mouse.
Like they were just like wave your hand
yeah,
around.
this
That's
is
it.
like this, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the one with Raven Simone where they basically tell her,
Yeah.
welcome to Disney Channel, and then she does her thing, and
Yeah,
it's just
what
like
do
a
you do?
giant circle.
Yeah,
It's
it's just a scribbles. Yeah,
Just scribble in a circle. Yeah.
that's why when you see them do that, it's like a cut of them closing like a close up, and they're like, so much fun, and then like a back cut to like, oh look, we're done.
Can't
You
tell
know,
that
like-
none of those kids can actually draw.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
They could sing.
They can
Yeah,
see.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was a requirement in like.
For a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, like,
a
I
lot
think
of them.
For every show that we grew up watching, a requirement was you
sing.
better be able to sing or dance, or
You better-
there is some extracurricular skills
you better
that
have some
fucking
talent.
have.
You better have some talent.
Yeah. Those kids from Ned's Declassified disappeared because there's nothing special about them. They couldn't sing,
They couldn't
dance.
sing at all.
Yeah.
No.
All they did was acting. Like that's real talent.
Well,
like,
they can definitely disappear.
Cookie
That's
pretended
one
to wear
thing-
glasses.
That's one
You
thing
think
they
that's
did.
a talent?
right? Yeah.
That's one thing they did. But yeah, so back to Ranger news.
Yeah.
That's really awesome that we're getting a red,
A new season.
a new season,
series.
new colors, new everything.
This will be on Netflix, right?
I
Sounds
think
like
so.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
'cause
sounds
The
like-
last series was on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, because the next one was on Netflix. Other news in speaking of '90s, solid transition. Thank you, Rene. We are also having a new Power Rangers special
Yeah.
called Once and Forever. Power Rangers Once and Forever.
So this is like a reunion special.
It is.
Essentially, because it's the 30 years of.
It's
Power
the
Rangers.
30 years of Power Rangers, and they're bringing back pretty much everybody that's been a Ranger in Morphin.
Pretty much everyone, right?
Yeah.
I think it's every-
Pretty much, yeah.
A good amount of people have.
Jason
agreed to
isn't
come
coming back, right?
Jason is not back, but Rocky is.
Right, that's what I
Rocky
meant.
is back, because actually they were talking about it, where they were going, because they were talking with the actors that played Rocky and the actor that played Zach, and he goes, we actually have never acted together.
Yeah, I saw that.
We've
Yeah, you
we've
know
never
what?
performed together.
That clicked with me. I was like, oh yeah, that's true.
Like we've met in the circuit, but we've never actually been on
screen.
set
Yeah,
or on screen together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Zach's only in the first like run of Mighty Morphin, and then he's gone. He's not back for the second season after they add Tommy to the group.
Because isn't it Rocky who takes over the Black Ranger?
Rocky takes over the Red Ranger,
And Adam.
becomes
Oh,
the
it's
Black.
Adam that takes over
Adam and
Black.
Aisha join the group.
That's right. And then Zach and everybody else leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then but it's really cool because we have it was a James Yost or is it
David Yost.
David Yost.
Yeah.
David Yost, who honestly has for years said he's never going to do anything Power Rangers. I will never do anything with Power Rangers, based off of everything that happened to me on the set.
Yeah.
You know, the criticism because, of his sexuality
He was
and everything
closeted,
else.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome because I'm really wondering how much money they throw at him to go, yes.
Yeah. No, we want that. Let's go back. Yeah.
Like, I'm really wondering how much. But that also goes to show, because I'm not sure what kind of studio Netflix is. But, because Dave Chappelle also said the same thing, too, when he was talking about him working with Netflix, of, when they say they're going to do something, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome.
Well, it's interesting how Netflix has the ability to acquire certain actors easily.
Yeah.
Because you have Jamie Foxx, who's a very high-end actor, appear in multiple projects on Netflix.
Yeah.
He did Day Shift and he did Project.
They just got Eddie Murphy.
Power Project. Yeah, they just updated Eddie Murphy. Jonah Hill now.
Yeah.
So, and then now they're doing, that 90s show. They able to get back almost all the cast members except for people that are
In
monsters
jail.
in real life.
Yeah. It's real bad when Hyde turned out to be a monster.
Yeah.
Actually, I did just finish watching that 90s show.
Is that good?
It's okay.
I saw
It's
the
not
clips.
bad.
I saw the clips of when they showed Kelso and Jackie.
That's the first episode.
Yeah, and then I saw another clip when they showed. I was really shocked that Topher Grace was in a
The only one that actually came back was Valderrama.
Oh, as a regular.
Fez, right?
Yeah, Fez comes back in 3 of the 8 episodes.
You know what? I'm a little.
'Cause
Did they ever touch on what happened between him and Jackie?
Yes.
Okay.
They talk about how they were dating and that she cheated on Fez with Kelso.
Oh, okay.
That-
Well, then I guess that makes sense.
He
'cause-
walked in on her and she was on the phone with Kelso and and they were planning on hooking up.
Okay,
And so
that's interesting. Okay, because that makes sense. Because I thought they're coming back, but they only have Kelso and Jackie together because they're a real couple in real life.
yes, and then also Leia in that
The
one,
daughter? Yeah.
because Topher Grace and their daughter is called Leia.
It's
Leia
a top
Foreman.
tier name.
Yeah, Leia Foreman. I'm not gonna lie. If I did have a daughter, I'd probably call her Leia.
Plus, it makes
Solid
sense.
one.
Eric would name
Name
his
his daughter
daughter.
Leia.
It's so
Yeah.
funny too because when he's talking to her and he's upset, he's like. He goes, Leia Tatooine Foreman, and Donna goes, that's not her middle name. And he goes, you don't know that. But it's great. There's a lot of really cool things. The show is better when the original actors are there.
Oh, okay.
But Kitty and Red really sell that show.
Really?
They are the
they're the-
foundation that really brings this all around, which is great. But
Okay.
that's besides that. We'll talk about.
Yeah.
We can talk about that 90s show in a bit. But I wanted to talk about this Forever Red.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they're bringing back all the old villains. They're bringing back everybody else. It looks like Aisha and also Adam are now members of SPD.
Yeah.
They're in I think it was the SOD or something else. It's like a precursor to the SPD.
Yeah, because I think in the timeline, the Galaxy Force is the ones that go up and create SPD. And it's just further down the timeline, right? Because
think
SPD
so.
doesn't happen immediately. So this is probably the first...
It's probably the first thing that actually the precursor for SPD.
Yeah.
It was probably this, and then it was probably one more thing, and then it turns into SPD.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be happy to see if they do a little bit more of that with other Ranger shows that, like, okay, this is like the starting, connecting the dots and
It's
stuff
weird.
like
Because
that.
it's 30 years of Rangers. I don't think this isn't this can't be the only thing we're going to get. I think it's going to be a bunch of other stuff that's going to happen over the span of the year.
You know what?
For all we know, there could be something happening in Cosmic Fury.
Yeah, but
something in the works.
I also love the idea that they filmed this, and then they were like, "This is coming out, and we also have a documentary of how we did it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of they're going like this is awesome, and we filmed a documentary about it.
I feel like they have to either pay homage or mention Jason David Frank.
Well, that's the thing though, is that this looks like it was filmed about a year ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jason's in it.
That's the thing is like they show the Green Ranger, right?
Yeah.
But
They show
don't-
him a couple of times.
They don't show you who it is, and it's weird because you have Zach there already in the black suit. So
You have Zach and Rocky. Zach and Adam both
yeah,
together.
what is Adam going to turn into if not the Black Ranger? Then could it possibly be the Green Ranger? And that'd be a little weird. And if I'm not mistaken, I know that there's this weird storyline where Adam comes back. Like it might be in Turbo or it might be.
It's in Galaxy.
Is it in Galaxy
space.
where he comes?
Is it in space? It is in space.
Yeah, he talks
yes,
to
because it's
Diego.
Carlos. No, it's Carlos.
Carlos, okay.
It's Carlos.
Because he comes back and because he's like still using the Morphin Ranger.
It's like a
and-
cracked.
It's a cracked morpher.
Right, and it's taking his actual life force away when he uses it.
Yeah, and like in
Alpha's like, no, don't do it.
I think that was Alpha 6, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
I think
Alpha
that
Oh, yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Because Alpha 5 leaves with Zordon.
Yeah.
But so I'm wondering how they're going to do that. They really did show how Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a phenomenon. Because I swear, as soon as you see all these like legacy Rangers, it blew up.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see them back in costume. I can't wait to see what they've been doing for all these years.
it'd be interesting to explain like where some of these Rangers went off to go do
Yeah.
in their lives.
I wouldn't be shocked if Tommy himself is in it. Because, like you said, it's been a year ago and stuff. And plus, I feel like the actor has been doing a lot between
Jason did Frank?
between back then and then up until now, until his unfortunate departure.
Well, he did that one, and then he also did a movie with Bat in the Sun.
Yeah, he's also, they're almost done doing.
Yeah, they're almost they're almost done editing.
Yeah.
They finished filming and he was editing it. Which,
Yeah.
if you follow their Instagram, it's actually kind of it's really hard because because you can tell that they really got close. The founder of Bat in the Sun and Jason David Frank, because he even puts like pictures of Jason David Frank from like his editing bay, and he goes like, man, this movie's getting harder and harder to edit.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we do see at least a little bit of Tommy, just because there was a little bit of because Tommy was in that one where it was like the combining of universes.
Yeah.
Because they had one that was the most recent.
Yeah,
That
I
was,
mean, he's basically been in everything. Even the big, I mean, it was a couple of years ago. They did the Big Red Ranger crossover event, right?
yeah. Oh, that was Mystic Force. Wasn't that?
Oh,
That was Mystic Force back in the day. That was
think
a
so.
while ago. Because that was Forever Red, right?
I think it's
Oh,
Forever
no,
that's
Red.
Mystic
it was,
Force.
It was Jungle Fury. Not Jungle Fury, it was Wild Force.
What? Well, there it is.
Wild Force with the Red Ranger that stabbed his roommate.
That's right. The Red Ranger. Yeah.
What? You did. You told me that.
Yeah, he actually got. I'm really hoping it was the Power Ranger sword. I don't know why.
So that specific Ranger from Wild Force, the guy that has like the vest and like that red
Bandana.
red bandana, in real life, years down the line, this was like years after that show ended.
Maybe like 10 years later.
He was arrested for manslaughter
Because he attempted murder.
Wow.
Yeah, because he stabbed his roommate with a sword. He claims they were
Dueling.
dueling,
That's some
and
bullshit.
it got away
Yeah.
from him and
It's-
stabbed him through the chest, and he died.
Wasn't that Red Ranger, like some like little kid that grew up in the wild?
Yes.
With
Yes,
Tarzan
yes.
and some bullshit.
Like
Yeah.
it was very much Tarzan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To find out, oh yeah, he's been on Earth. He was just like away from civilization for a little bit. Like,
I like the Rangers where they had phones and then they did magic on the phones.
Oh, that was Mystic Force.
That was Mystic Force.
That was Mystic
God,
Force.
that was really good.
That was actually pretty cool. They're just like, oh, the Mystic Ranger power.
It was a great explanation for all their powers,
Yeah.
and like modern day is just like, oh yeah, no, the Morphin phone, it would just be a phone now.
I
Like,
think what they did was someone did like the most powerful Rangers of all time, and they did mention that Mystic Force Rangers are the most powerful Rangers.
Really?
Out of all of them.
yeah, because I think their powers are like tied in with the universe or some bullshit.
Yeah, like they're actually essentially like gods in a way.
Can you write that down? 2658.
26. Okay, I'll text it in there.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the Mystic Force. That you know what? But because I know that during the whole in the last event that they had people from Wild Force, they had people from Samurai, they had people from Lightspeed Rescue, Space, Zeo. They put together a giant thing where it was like, oh yeah, there's a cosmic being that's ripping open the space and the universes, and Rangers from different alternate universes are falling in and everything like that. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see where exactly that kind of goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, and to other news, we actually have the Cobra Kai just announced final season.
Final season.
Yeah.
Final season. That's rough. That's hard to think about.
I like
love
it, but then again, it's sad to see because I think we were talking about it with this past season. It's like it feels like it was good, but I don't want them to stretch it out as long as they're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
as long as it's good,
Mhm.
I love it. And I think if they ended on a high note,
Yes,
that would be great.
because they didn't do the tournament.
Yeah,
They-
they basically teased like at the very end of the show. It's just like, oh, like
Yeah.
by the way, like in episode 9, there's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, there's this real tournament that we've been wanting to set up for this entire time, and
It's the tournament of tournaments.
yeah, it's the big tournament, and
Yeah.
it's this tournament that we really wanted to do years ago. Like
Yeah.
way back in the plot of Karate Kid 3, we wanted to do this tournament. We didn't do it.
Yeah, no, like it was something about we were going to do it, we just didn't. Other ideas came up, and that's why. And so this is something that has been a long time coming, and I'm super excited about it. Honestly, I'm really excited because I want to see a lot of these actors doing other stuff. Because Cobra Kai really does bottleneck a lot of them. I want to see these actors do other stuff. They are great. They are fantastic actors.
Yeah, I'm glad the actor that plays Miguel is branching out.
Yes.
And doing Blue Beetle. I want to see.
I'm hoping Blue Beetle stays.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that
buddy.
it kills. Well, we have
Aw,
2
that's
more
cute.
weeks. We have like another week.
I'll let James Gunn hear this podcast.
We're hoping that we're praising him.
Well,
in each
remember James Gunn
episode
did say in the end of January.
Yeah.
End of January,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to give you my list of what's real, what's there, and what's not.
Is
But
the Flash there?
no, I don't know. Maybe they're actually releasing more photos of the Flash.
Yeah, I want to see more of that movie that I'm not going to see.
It's him in a Batman outfit. It's spray painted red.
What?
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton's Batman outfit, and like he chopped off the ears, spray painted it
Oh,
red,
yeah.
and then he put like lightning bolts all over it.
So what I'm thinking is that
you can look it up.
Yeah,
Watch.
Yo,
It's
I've
crazy.
asked this question before.
Yeah.
But what does he have on the studio exactly that he's just allowed to do everything?
Oh, dude, he found like a studio. He
Like,
said he found.
what room did he walk into
He-
at what precise time?
He definitely walked into a room that was
Because he's not some child actor either. It's not like he was in some role that broke him out, or he's some actor that we've loved from years. I don't remember him in anything. He was just in Fantastic Beasts, and now he's the Flash.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple of breakout roles. But yeah, I don't know. The studio's, you know what it might be? It also might be that they've invested so much into him because they've been putting him in so many different franchises.
Right.
Yeah. Probably has a contract with Warner Brothers to do certain movies.
Because it might be if he, I'm not sure if he has like a play, like a play or no play, where it's like, if I do the film or I don't do the film, you still got to pay me like $10 million.
Do you guys see the new plot of the
right
Flash this
It's that
season?
third one, yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
So basically, this is, I guess, what I think that this is the Barry Allen from the Keaton universe.
Yes.
Okay.
And he recently develops the Speed Force. Doesn't have a costume.
So they just steal Batman.
So he takes, I guess, one of his earlier suits from Batman Returns, because so he paints it red, paints a silver bullet, cuts the ears, which I don't. If it makes sense for the story,
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And then that's also why he has such a huge neck.
Yeah. See, that's why you can see a little, it's a little different. The spray paint yellow and stuff.
Yeah, that's why he has like such a thick neck, and that's why you can see like so much of his neck revealed in it. It's gonna be a wild movie. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out, but
yeah. And I don't know, I'm pretty interested to see where it goes. I like that idea of like, okay, this Barry needs a suit. So let's just, Batman would be like, just take one of my old ones.
But yeah, so Cobra Kai.
Here we go. Yeah.
Back on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's like the full suit.
Keep that up.
just put it up on the screen. Yeah, no, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's hilarious. But yeah, Cobra Kai. I'm interested to see where Danny and Danny and Johnny's relationship goes from here. I hope that they stay best friends.
Oh, they're gonna be friends, and then they're gonna get upset at each other, and then the tournament's gonna happen, and then he's gonna be like, "I don't like your way of teaching," and then he's gonna be like, "I don't like your way of teaching."
We can't.
And then they're gonna be friends again.
No, because we've already done that.
Well, just like
we've already
4 times.
Yeah, we've already done.
But it's season 6 now, so we gotta. Come on, new fresh ideas. Now they're in a different land when they do that. And look, Johnny, it's cute that you do this little stuff, but like I was actually here. Like you watch movies and bullshit.
I think because my thing is that I do feel that I want them to be friends. I want a full season of them being friends, and we don't have any problems. And them just broing out like the 3 of them. I really want the 4 the 4 that went into the house fight to become the best friends in the world.
Oh man, Jesus! I thought that guy died.
Yeah. Oh, so did I.
Yeah.
With Kenzin.
Yeah.
The guy from the third one.
Silver cuts it, like chops his spine in half. Like I don't know how you recover from that so easily. We're gonna walk this off.
Just Tony Stark did. I don't know. He's awesome though, because apparently a sword. Maybe it's a fake sword. I don't know. Doing cut right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like I don't know what I want to see more, because I like seeing Johnny fight, and I like seeing Danny fight. But like it's gonna be, the main focus is gonna be Miguel, Robbie tournament, the girls tournament.
We're also forgetting that Kreese broke out of prison.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in the most the most ridiculous way too. God.
Which is also
fantastic.
funny. Which is also really funny too, because he was about to be released.
He was just about to be released because of the investigation and stuff. Which is funny. I think we talked about it in our last our podcast when we reviewed it. Is that I kind of like, but I kind of don't like that they chose to go that route with like, oh, he's gonna break out of prison when technically he's gonna.
It's a problem that solves itself.
Oh, he's gonna be a good guy.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think
he's gonna be the last villain. The first villain is our last villain. He knows because Johnny and Daniel left him in jail to die.
He's gonna be friends with that girl.
He's gonna go ahead and go pick up the rest of the Cobras.
Yeah, he's gonna get Tori under his wing.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna get Tori, and he's probably gonna get somebody else.
Yeah.
I was waiting for them to pick up. Oh man, I can't think of his name. The guy that beats up Robbie and his brother joins. The Cobra Kai. I don't know what his name is. He's only
the guy he met in juvie.
Yeah, the guy meets in juvie. Okay. I was waiting for him to show up and be like the next badass.
I do like how they went full circle and just been like, oh well, you gotta look over my brother. Can you look over my brother and stuff? And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They like did that callback.
Now he's a main villain too.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that too. That payback of just like, I told you to look out for my brother and you didn't. Now I'm here.
Maybe
I took the same lessons.
That's the thing. The writers of Cobra Kai really throw you for a loop in each season.
And I think it was tough for them this last season because of the COVID.
It was COVID, and then also I think they had to kind of wrap everything up because Miguel, the actor that plays Miguel, was on contract to do Blue Beetle soon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it was so quick.
That whole storyline felt like super rushed. Was just like, oh yeah, here's my dad. All right, see you later.
He went to Mexico.
Yeah, he
and
went
then,
to Mexico,
Two
found
episodes
him.
in, and he was like, "I'm out. Like, you're a jerk."
Yeah.
That shit's so funny too. It's just like, why didn't you tell me about him? It's like, no, hold on, you didn't get the whole story. Let me tell you about him now. I don't want to hear. Ah, shit, you're right. He really is a bad guy.
Yeah, him being a bad guy in general is already kind of there, but I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. I'm looking forward to seeing how the tournament plays out. There's just so much stuff that you can get from this final season. I'm hoping everybody gets a solid send off, and Johnny and Danny can ride off into sunset together.
That's another thing.
best friends.
How are they gonna end this series?
Oh, they're gonna change
That's the
love
thing.
interest one more time.
We're just gonna switch it up. We're gonna get Johnny with Daniel's wife. I'm like,
Oh no, the kids, because they've
the
only
kids,
done
yeah.
that like 7 times. in the
oh,
show.
that's true.
I think you know what, and I would be okay if no one ended up with anyone.
yeah.
And the end of the
It's
show.
very mature of you.
The end of the end of the show is everybody moving on.
No,
everybody is
I feel
now
like-
going to college.
I feel
Everybody
like
is
you're gonna
moving
get
on.
at least one solidified romance. That's
Probably.
Gonna, like,
Do we get a Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan cameo?
I would love it, and I know that they've already said that they would love it if they could do that.
still haven't gotten Hilary Swank yet.
I want
I was
Hillary
waiting on
Swank.
that.
Yeah.
I was waiting on that this
If
season.
we can
Yeah.
get a Hillary, I think that would be hilarious. Or awesome. I'm not sure which.
Because I think they said she's part of
She is part
the
of this
cinematic universe,
Yeah.
and
She's
they
part of it.
aren't for sure yet if Jaden is in that universe.
I think what it is that like
I'm sure he is
she's-
because Will Smith is a executive producer on it.
I think if they touch on to Miyagi more,
Yes.
and you see Daniel wasn't the only student, that'd be cool if they bring in or mention Hilary Swank. At this point, like if you can mention her,
See, my thing is
Yeah.
that I'm really afraid if you were to do something like that, then you would make Hillary Swank seem really dumb.
It's mad funny
Oh,
at this
that's
point
true.
because it's kind of like, well, I mean, Mr. Miyagi had other students, but clearly he loved Daniel's son because he's not like, oh, I'm
he
gonna
was
be
the
there
more-
at Hillary
he
Swank's
was more
baby's
integrated
recital.
with Daniel's life. Yeah.
Yeah, he technically, he really did like adopts
this
He
family.
adopts this family into his own, and that's really cool.
So it's like, oh yeah, I guess,
So-
Hillary Swank's here for the 4th movie. I guess.
Was there a release date announced, or is it just they
just announced that,
okay?
that they're
Yeah, I think it
they're
was
in
just a
production.
teaser, right?
It was just a teaser,
Yeah.
and they're in production. Lastly, Invincible finally back.
Yes.
We are going to get it at the end of 2023. That was really funny with the way that they just kind of
It was because it's the longest question of all for Invincible season 2 is like,
yes.
when is it coming out? It's been so long, and they kind of just run with that.
Yes.
They're like, guys, it takes like there's animation, there's storyboards, there's
Yeah,
recording
and
sessions.
he talks about it. He was like, I've been busy.
Yeah, I've been
I've been busy.
It's not like I've been just sitting around not doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's so funny. I love the idea of it because you can literally put that as the in between season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because it's almost as if they just came down from the moon and then they started talking.
Yeah.
And they kept the conversation going. So I'm excited to see Invincible. I'm excited how far into the actual story of Invincible they get.
Yeah, I'm wondering where this season is gonna end or what they're gonna cover in this season.
Because Omni-Man leaving is obvious. That's like you have to have Omni-Man leave by the end of this by the end of this season. How do we get there? I'm really hoping that that we get not the end of the season, but mid-season is when the big dude comes.
Oh,
That big the other
am I wrong? I might be
Ultramite?
wrong about this. I haven't read Invincible in a while.
A lot has happened that goes on between when Omni-Man leaves and when they touch on to more Viltrumites.
I think it might be like. I think this entire season might be without Omni-Man and without any Viltrumites if they're gonna do it right.
Yeah, I think what they'll do is that we're gonna have where
he's trying to be the world's best hero.
yeah, he's trying to be the world's best hero and also trying to basically get a power up, trying to get more stronger.
Because I think it's not until he finds his dad on another planet that more Viltrumite stuff
No,
starts
there's,
popping
there's,
up.
Well,
one,
the-
there's two more.
The Viltrumite stuff doesn't happen until what is it? What's his name?
The big dude, right?
No, I'm thinking about
He comes
Invincible's
later.
Invincible's real name.
Who?
Invincible's real name. What's his real name?
Oh.
Stephen Yoon.
This is his real name.
That's his real. It's something Grayson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
Grayson.
Yeah. So when Mark leaves Earth to do something, that's when the Viltrumite stuff kind of bleeds over a bit. But that's
because I know that
There's like a lot of dead time in that comic.
Because there's
after
also
Omni-Man leaves.
There's also the one where Mark gets a kid.
That's
that's like
that's
later.
A,
that's a little
later.
after.
That's a little later.
That's
'Cause
a little.
he gets,
after
he gets a kid.
the
and he
Viltrumite
also-
War. The first one at least.
Yeah, he gets a kid, and he also finds out he has a sibling. So
but
there's a couple of other
but
things.
he needs to be with Adam Eve for that to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're not dating yet.
That should be the main thing I think of this season.
Yeah, is the switch
that,
over of like love interests.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
switch over of love interest. It should
Oh,
be.
I can't wait.
That's gonna be interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
I love
so
the
much.
build up that they're doing with him and
Adam Eve.
and Adam Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's slightly different. It's way different.
Yeah,
Actually.
it's a friendship that they're starting with. In the comic books, he's already smitten with her.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very much having a crush over her and stuff like
And
that.
I like the idea of them starting as friends and then realizing that they're in love. And
No,
then-
he's in an abusive relationship right now with.
he is.
Oh
he
my
really
God.
is, man. Like
Dude, I was like, this girl is so toxic. Like,
You don't think I know you're invincible?
Yeah.
Of course I know you're invincible.
Yeah.
I'm just mad you didn't tell me. It's like,
And
So,
then
wait,
if
so,
you-
so
yeah.
you knew I was invincible, and you know how secret identities work, and
Yeah.
you were still mad at me?
Mhm.
Yeah,
or
all
like,
right.
why did you leave me?
yeah.
Like,
Because
why
I'm
did
in.
you leave?
You just explained it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
invincible.
invincible. I'm invincible. I went to go get changed
yeah.
and then I came
and then
back.
after he gets like half beaten
To
by
death.
his dad,
Yeah.
she comes back like, I want to just like,
I want to apologize.
yeah,
I'm
I
so
just
sorry.
like,
Yeah,
let's get
no.
back together. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark,
No,
run.
Mark.
Mark, run. She's evil.
Yeah.
I
And then they already introduced Battle Beast.
Yeah.
That dude's he is
Battle Beast he's insane.
Yeah.
he's a badass. I'm really surprised they introduced him so early, but he's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a little hint. That's the thing. Robert
It's
Kirkman
just a
said.
taste.
Robert Kirkman says when he wrote the comic book, he wrote the pacing very off, and it's something that he's been regretting ever since he did the comic book. Now he says, with the show now, I get an extra chance to kind of improve how I wanted to tell this story,
Yeah.
and it works out. It's
it-
actually going a little better
It
than the
is-
comic book.
It is because when you have live action Walking Dead that is just taking giant liberties.
Yeah, just like
I
beating
mean-
a dead
Oh,
horse after
yeah.
season 5. Like,
I
And
was
you're
telling
like,
my brother
oh my
that the other
God.
day. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't wait. In like 5-10 years, they're gonna remake The Walking Dead, and it's actually gonna be good.
I can't
We're gonna
wait.
do Rick without an arm.
you're
What
gonna do
I
it in
think-
black and white.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
You know what would have been really cool if they redid Walking Dead and just made it an animated series.
Yeah.
Don't make it a live action. Make it an animated
Yeah.
series. Make it a little closer to the comics.
Yeah.
Take Rick's arm. Make it in black and white. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
If not,
You could save time with just coloring right there if you just did the cartoon in black and white.
Oh yeah, the more I think about it too, I think about what a missed opportunity live action Walking Dead is, because like Shane is such a more interesting character in a TV show.
they
in
made
in the
they-
comics.
That's the thing, though. In speaking of like Robert Kirkman changing things and making them for the better, he made things better in, like, let's say Walking Dead. He made that way better because Shane in the comics is kind of boring.
Yeah.
He's just kind of his partner.
He's a bit
that's-
one note.
He's very one note. He's the villain.
Yeah.
In that section of the comics, whereas in The Walking Dead,
He's not the villain. He's just ahead of the curve.
yeah, he's just like if Rick is where Shane is
If they met one season later, they'd be
they
best
would-
friends.
They
Still.
would get along
I-
because they would 100% get along because Rick eventually becomes what Shane is talking about.
And it makes you wonder things, I think, now, opposed to like what the comic did, where I actually wonder, like, you know what, Shane with Rick versus the governor, or Shane with Rick versus Negan, that's a completely different war.
Oh yeah, because Shane would have done something crazy.
Yeah.
He would have done something crazy. He probably would have had the idea of dipping bullets or dipping arrowheads in walkers
Yeah.
first, just because that's some crazy stuff to do. But I'm interested. Robert Kirkman really nailed it out of the park on the Invincible show. I feel like with animation, you could do so much more, though.
I
Because
mean,
live action, that's the thing, though. Everybody goes like, live action is the way to go. I can't wait for it to go live action.
Yeah.
Omni-Man
but-
destroying the city.
You couldn't do that
You
live
couldn't
action.
do that. That's
You just couldn't.
No, you can't. With all the death in that whole
no.
sequence,
Yeah.
But not only that, but also you can't do the violence that's in Invincible live action. You just can't.
No,
It's impossible.
You're gonna mess with someone that's doing all the CGI. They're gonna mess with them mentally. They gotta be looking at
Just ripped apart pieces of corp.
just him holding Markham for the subway.
And I think,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. And I think the way that it's animated so close to Ryan Otley's art,
Yes.
the way that it's not, it doesn't feel when you watch the animation, it doesn't feel that it's super drama or super serious. It's very fun, playful art that you're looking at. And then when those fight scenes happen,
It's drastic.
you're
It changes
so
everything.
taken for your mind is kind of in a
becomes
180.
it becomes a motion comic.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. I'm looking forward to Invincible. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait for us to get to that point where we can, go like awesome Invincible is here.
It's been renewed for 4 more, up to season 4.
up to season 4,
Which is cool.
That's awesome.
That I can't wait for. Vox Machina also just got a brand new season.
Yeah,
It just
I
came
saw
out. If you guys haven't checked that out, the first 3 episodes is on Amazon Prime already. That's awesome. Just to kind of finish off the show, I think giving probably 10-15 minutes to kind of go over the Last of Us.
You
Just
say Walking Dead.
I was
weren't
about to
you?
say Walking Dead. I really was. You caught me.
Same thing.
You caught me.
I heard
The Last of the Walking Dead.
The
Walking of the Last of Us.
The Walking of Last of Us. But The Walking Dead, I mean,
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Take 2.
The Last of Us.
Yes.
In this episode, it's shorter than the last one. It was 48 minutes. And it was interesting because we got to spend a lot more time with Tess, Joel, and Ellie.
Yes.
And then you also got something that we didn't get in the games of it actually starting in Indonesia and then finding out what's going on and then
How it works.
how it works, how the virus is spreading.
And what was the best way to stop it or prevent it?
Well, that was always a question that I had inside of the games of why did they drop bombs? Like, why did they just start dropping bombs in the middle of the city? Because they even say it didn't work.
Well, they says it didn't work in most places, but it worked in Boston.
Yes, where it worked in Boston, it didn't. But that was the thing, though, is it didn't work in most places. So it was kind of one of those things of like it keeps we keep doing this, it's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, fuck, to bring up The Walking Dead again, but in The Walking Dead, that's what they do at Atlanta. They drop bombs in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They dropped a bomb in Atlanta. And it's interesting, too, because I was telling Rene, I really was hoping inside of their featurette that they were going to tell us how they were going to show Boston destroyed. Because them showing Boston destroyed looked amazing.
Yeah, they
covered.
Yeah.
They did the classic building was leaning on another building, which I
Yes.
loved.
But it looked real. It didn't.
did,
It didn't feel fake.
Well, that's what I've been loving about this show in general. Is just the whole atmosphere and how it's captured, and it looks like it's like they took the game and put a live action skin on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's great. I'm really enjoying. I really do enjoy the little moments because it takes a minute to slow down, and like the moment that Tess climbs up because they're being blocked, and then she goes, "Hold on, this is gonna take a minute. I'll be right back."
Oh, I like that they even fit that into the game. That half the gameplay in those Last of Us games are, hold on, there's a ledge up here. I'm gonna pick you up. You're gonna go up there.
You're gonna go up there.
You're gonna help me get up.
Yeah, you're gonna help me get up, or you're gonna go do something as I'm talking to you from a distance and yelling. And I think that's gonna be an interesting thing that they're gonna be doing later on. But I do like that they added that where it's like, oh yeah, Tess is, off, and it's just Joel and Ellie as this awkward pairing of they don't know what to talk about. And Ellie is bored and she starts asking Joel about his life, and he doesn't want to talk about it. He's just like, you can ask me any question you want, just don't ask me questions about me.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to kind of see them beginning their their relationship. We were talking about it earlier of we're really looking forward to the zoo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they go through the zoo.
When they go
before
through
they
the
go
zoo.
to the Firefly
Yeah.
compound. Yeah.
If they eventually get to, I'm really hoping, because that sounds like season 2.
Yeah,
They
that's
would
going to
do
be a
that.
season 2.
That would be a season 2 if they were going to do that. But
because that takes place after winter.
yeah,
Because I'm thinking that this show, if you're gonna do it, because they've already said that they want to do seasons for this, and the only way I think you can do that appropriately is if you ended the show, this first season, at the college and what happens
Yes.
to Joel at the college.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that because the showrunners have mentioned that they are splitting up the first game into 2 seasons.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So we're gonna get 2 seasons in a season. So
Okay.
it's gonna be what it starts out at the end of summer in this one, and then falls into fall?
It should be summer, fall, and
Summer,
then,
fall, and then you got
I think it eventually goes into winter.
so winter and spring.
Yeah, because I was telling my brother, I think that's the perfect way to do it. Is you end episode 9 with what happens at the college, and then you start at second season.
Well, and then you finish,
and we don't see what happens until the very end of that episode.
Yeah, and I think it would also be interesting too to have Ellie by herself
In like the first few episodes.
Yeah,
in the first few episodes, or even just like the end of episode 10. Because remember, it's an HBO show.
Yes,
So that
they
means that
love to keep
episode-
you on your toes.
So they love episode 9 being the season finale.
I think
and then,
there's only 9 episodes.
yeah, so that means that I'm telling you, episode 8 it's gonna be something big. There's gonna be, because that happens in every one of
Right.
Game of Thrones, Chernobyl, any of them.
House of Dragon.
House of the Dragons, all of them.
I think-
The episode right before the last is always your season finale, and then they wrap everything up in the last one.
Yeah, so I'm thinking because the showrunners have been doing a good job, or what's his name, the director or the creator
It's
of
the
the
same
show.
people, yeah, it's the
His-
same people from Chernobyl.
It's the guy from Chernobyl and Neil Drunkman.
Neil
Yes.
Drunkman. He's showing us now, specifically in this episode, how he's changing up the game and the show now. With one being in particular is that we don't have spores.
Yes.
It's not spores that are causing the outbreak to happen. I guess it's in fungal, these like little
Like these
tentacle string things.
yeah.
I guess it's not too big of a change. The only thing I was trying to like wrap my brain around, like what important scenes happen with spores, and the only thing I can really think about is I think that's how Dina figures out that Allie is immune, is because her mask is cracked.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
she
yeah.
starts freaking out, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna take off my mask." And then like Allie
I'll
takes
say
off her
mine.
mask, and
Yeah.
she's like, "No, I'm fine. Like
Don't
I don't
worry."
need the mask. Don't worry."
You know
about
what? But I feel like you can do the same thing.
it." She's gonna get bit again.
She's
'Cause
she's
she-
probably gonna get bit by something else.
Because she got scratched in this episode, which they're just making a thing that I guess she can just take damage from these things. It's not just the one time.
Well, the thing is that but even Tess says it in the middle of the episode of saying, "Oh yeah, you can survive a scratch, you can survive a bite, but you can't survive being ripped apart.
Right.
So make sure that you're still careful, because these things they won't just kill you. I mean, they won't just infect you; they'll rip you apart and they'll kill you."
Yeah.
And it's interesting too of seeing them traveling. That whole like we're gonna have to scavenge and get through these areas.
I like them using duct tape.
It's actually electrical tape.
We might have to cut right here.
It wasn't even
the
duct tape.
battery on this thing. It says charge the battery pack. We might have to switch out the batteries.
Did it just?
It just tell me that right now. That's the thing. I don't know if it's still recording or not. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Luckily, we had a battery charging.
Yeah, we do.
So-
I put it. It was done charging, and I put it back. It's really quick.
Cut.
movie magic.
Movie magic. Before we were so rudely interrupted by the camera, The Last of Us. It's been an interesting ride so far.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see it. I like seeing the music. I love the music. The music inside of this is really interesting. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm not sure where it's gonna, because they've already started changing things. One of the biggest changes that they made was that not only is the fungus inside of you, but it also has tendrils that reach into the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a sensory kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like a sensory thing. So if there's if there's like a spot where the tendrils are, and then it's connected to another area that could be miles away, and if you kill one over here, it'll activate all of these others, all these other clickers over in the other area. And
which
that
is
was crazy.
which is
crazy.
interesting on the showrunners end that they looked into how mold or fungus works, all that stuff, and they actually did their research,
Because I think it's one of these things now where it's not just that it's fighting for itself and its own survival. It's more or less now it's almost like a hive mind, it feels like.
Yeah, it feels kind of like that. Yeah, it just feels like a living organism.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
single living organism that, there's not really a queen or anything like that. It's just surviving.
What do you guys think about the different intros for like each episode? Do you guys like that? And do you guys feel that that's going to keep going? Like it's the beginning of each episode is almost taking place in 2003 or in the future, or I'm sorry, in the past.
Oh, like we'll see that's what I was telling him. I was like, are we gonna get in each intro, like on that day, a different perspective?
Because they mentioned a couple of things in that first episode that I think they can go back to and show us different angles on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the idea of I like the idea in the first episode where they went, this is 1964 and somebody is already researching how dangerous funguses can be.
Yeah.
And how dangerous these things can truly be. And this isn't a new thing.
My guy from The Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's my dude from The Mummy. Yeah, after he was done with finding mummies, he invested in fungus. That was his safe net. But I thought that was interesting because by the time you get to 2003 in the events of The Last of Us, it's something that, for like the last 40 years, there's been scientists that you've been calling crackpots. Now that this is a thing and nobody's ever researched it, now we need their help. And but it's always been like a crackpot idea.
Well, it's funny how they was aware of this, but they caught it too late.
Yes.
Because they never found the original, infected person or patient zero.
Yeah, I think that was super interesting.
Yeah.
That got my mind running where I was like, I thought that body was going to come alive.
Yeah,
and
you
some shit was
think
gonna
so.
happen there where I was like, and I was like, is this like patient zero
No,
that
you
they
see,
found? But no, it's
they showed that they were bitten.
yeah.
And
So
you're like,
patient zero is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
In the wild, which is an interesting concept in itself because The Last of Us never really had anything like
That's
that.
the thing. And I wonder in the progression of the series, are we going to see how it all started? Like, what did it truly originate
What it sounds like is it was like some kind of a fungus that was in the flour or wheat, and it became airborne, and then they breathed it in.
So there's a process basically that I know that in The Last of Us 1 where they're basically explaining that in history, fungus has attached to barley before.
Yes.
And when it gets mixed in with the meat, I think it's called like spoiled or black bread, where it's like it causes diarrhea. All these different
you definitely
things.
get sick.
You get sick from eating it.
Yeah.
And I think this is just like that, another version of that, where it's like, hey, this thing happened in human history, but what if it was
a different
strain that was strong enough to survive inside of the human body?
Well, because there is reported cases of specific fungi that can control insects.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a real thing. I think that was always the craziest part of The Last of Us, is that it's technically based on something that's real.
Yeah, because I remember when I was watching a documentary on The Last of Us when the game first came out, because it came with like a little featurette if you got the special edition, and we were like, this is how we came up with the idea. Because I was telling him that originally Last of Us, the team that was working on The Last of Us were working on Jack and Daxter, a remake.
Yeah.
That was originally what this game was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the Jack and Daxter remake.
You can tell by, one's Jack, one's Dax. They follow each other around.
But yeah. But the interesting thing is that one of the creator of The Last of Us, he was watching a documentary on these spores that infect insects, and then the entire idea of it is to infect the entire hive. So that way it can stay alive. So it tries to mate with others, or it bites and attacks others, and it basically becomes a zombie. It just becomes a zombie, and the only way that they are able to they actually die is eventually the ants turn on them, and they kill them, and then they wipe them out from the hive, or they move the entire hive depending on how bad the infection is.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to kind of see like this all taking place and everything else. Yeah, I'm interested to seeing how it is. You did have a problem with the end of the episode.
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah.
Towards the end of the episode, I thought that was weird too. And so this one, we got introduced to Tess, who is Joel's partner, smuggling romantically and everything. And they've been together for what looks like years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's implied in the game that they're together, but
Yeah.
it's clear that they're together in the show. And Tess even makes a little comment on it during her suicide speech, where she's like, "I never asked you to explain our relationship." We're just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like we were just together. Like we're just here to be together. Yada yada yada.
There's a child here. Like, we'll bring this up later.
But yeah, so Tess in this one, because they're going through a museum, and you get the one thing which I've been really waiting for, and I'm so happy they did it so right. It looked so good.
Clickers?
A clicker.
Oh yeah.
The clickers live action look amazing. They are so cool. The art, they look like they've just been ripped right from the game.
Yeah.
Like the makeup and everything else. And I love the idea, even during the featurette, they were like, before we even started writing, we were trying to figure out how we can do this. Like, can we make an authentic clicker? Because that's going to be the big thing. If the clickers don't look right, people are going to be like, nope, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So they were able to do it. This one, it's so chilling too. I love when they're walking through the museum and all you hear is,
And
you start getting
such
that
a
clicking.
haunting thing too.
And it's so far away that you're like, maybe they're far, maybe like they're not going to hear us and everything. And then all of a sudden, like, you just hear it like slowly start getting closer. And then you have this moment where Joel explains clickers as fast as possible to Ellie of just, they're blind, but they can hear you.
Yeah.
And they have hyper hearing. So if you make any sound, they will kill you. So we're silent for the rest. And that, I believe, in the game, he has a conversation with Ellie.
He has a similar conversation with her when they come across clickers in the building, I think.
Yes.
Where he says, like, we don't speak. Like, we're silent.
We're like, and I think that was the line, because there was a line in this of, for the rest of this time, we're silent. Not quiet, we're silent. And it's so interesting. I loved it. Also, in this one, you got the whole, like, how Ellie and Joel were kind of together, more or less. You can kind of see, but you see it more with the way that Tess is working with Joel, like this little combination in fights.
You're really starting to get some of the classic Ellie moments, though, where she goes and she's just a kid. She goes and she wants to play with the bell on the bellhop desk. She's acting like she's one of these people that would check into a hotel. She has no idea what a hotel is. Like,
she's heard about it.
Yeah, it's all stuff that's really interesting. That's what makes, like, Ellie and these kid characters. They're growing up in a world where they don't understand any of this stuff.
Yeah, they don't know what reality was.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is. They don't know how it.
So I think in Bill's Town, they go to the arcade, and she doesn't know what any of that stuff is either.
Yeah, and I thought it was so funny when he was like, she's from Detroit. That's in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I know, I go to school.
Yeah.
And then she goes, how fast does an infected survive? He goes, I thought you went to school. She goes, it's a really bad school. Like, tell me. But I thought it was really interesting that throughout the entire episode, they kept foreshadowing the rest of the episode. How long does a person who's infected, how long do they survive? And he even says, depends. It really depends on the person.
Yeah.
And they technically show you that information in the first episode when you see the little kid.
Yes.
Where you see that on the wall they have where it shows like
depending on where you've been bitten.
Yeah. It could take minutes, it could take hours, it could take 24 hours.
It could take a day. It could take a couple days. That's why Joel was saying it really does vary. That's why it's just better if somebody's infected, just pop them in the head.
And my big question at the end of this episode was, what happens to the fireflies?
So they didn't mention, because in the game we forgot why the fireflies were dead when they get there.
They're dead in the game because of Fedra.
Yes, and then we were like, oh, okay, so that's
Fedra was there.
That's how Tess dies
and
in the game.
Yeah, and they show like when he opens up the truck and stuff, like it's clear like that's where they were gonna use to move her.
Yes.
Like it's covered in blood. There's the guy that's dead there.
It could have been Fedra still. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we'll figure out something. Maybe, or maybe it's something that later on we'll find out in the series.
You know what? They didn't have. I think it would be interesting if it was a boomer or the bloater, because they were smashed.
Well, that's the thing.
And she kept on saying, because it was somebody who was injured that ran into it because they were freshly wounded
Yeah.
that made it into that one museum building. So it would have been interesting if a bloater smashed through all of them because some of them looked like their heads were broken in.
Yeah.
Like their brains were all bleeding out and everything like that. They didn't have bullet wounds. They had like wounds from an infected. And Ellie even goes, "An infected did this? Like, I was attacked by someone infected, and they didn't do this."
Yeah.
And so I think they're kind of laying those little tiny seeds of like there's something worse than
clickers.
than an infected. There's something worse than a clicker.
Yeah, because I think the bloaters are even going to be a different thing. Because I think when you kill bloaters, they'll turn into spores or whatnot. So
That was
it's
the
probably
original
going to be a
idea.
different thing.
Well, that would be interesting if worms shoot out of them when they
Yeah.
explode.
That could
Like-
be the thing.
Worms shoot out of them, and then if they land on you, they burrow in your skin or something. That would be interesting.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably that because even if you go back to the beginning of the episode, that lady doctor who I was waiting for that thing to chomp on her hand when
When she was putting it in, that was
stick-
tense. Yeah.
and then she pulls out the actual fungus and
it's
it's
still
moving.
alive.
Yeah, so maybe that's how it's going to happen.
Well, because also, how did the guy turn into an infected?
I don't know.
How does he become infected?
Yeah.
Because they weren't infected already. Was it just because he was laying on it, or was it because they fought a bloater? And that would be interesting.
Okay, I see what you
Like
mean.
there was something different, or there was some kind of other thing, because they do that a lot in Resident Evil. Of like,
Yeah.
you get like these moments of you see like just people totally wrecked, and you're like, what came through here? And then it's like, I don't know, but it's way worse than anything we've seen so far. And that would be kind of cool. But you do get Tess gets bitten, and you're right. She did have her suicide speech.
Tess's final stand is
That's where you had a problem with.
yes. I don't mind. It happens in the game.
Yes,
It's-
Tess dies in the game
Right.
as well.
She goes down. She shooting Fedra. She gets shot. Whatever. This one is so weird to me. Like it's just so weird. It's for no reason. So Tess is bit. They're gonna get swarmed by clickers, zombies that are all coming, and she knocks over a bunch of gas barrels,
Grenades.
and throws a bunch of grenades on the floor, and she's gonna sacrifice herself valiantly, and the best way to do that is to use a broken Zippo lighter, and just keep doing it, and wait for a spark, and then for some reason, a clicker makes eye contact with her, and she sees her,
Yeah.
and then walks towards her, and then she just keeps staring at this guy while she's just using her Zippo lighter, and then she makes out with a clicker. She
Well,
opens her mouth,
The spores
and the
come
little
out.
spores go into her mouth. I think it was very brave. I think it was very bold of the writers of The Last of Us to introduce just the common people to hentai.
Very,
Just
yeah.
just
That's
sneak
the-
my hentai into the
That's
common
the little
man.
kernel of hentai.
That's the kernel of hentai. Okay, so they mentioned it in the featurette, and they were saying that because she's already infected, she was drawn to the other clicker. Like the clicker in her, like the clicker was drawn to her, and it, proceeded to infect her even more.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like its rationale.
Yeah, sure.
Don't get me wrong, it's a weird scene.
No, it is. I completely agree. When I watched that, it's like, this is very awkward. Like, she's kind of just like, and just like opening her mouth and just letting those little.
See, I think the scene would have worked a lot more if she's standing there and she's trying to, she gets swarmed from front and back.
She's holding grenades and
She's trying to,
takes
she's
herself
holding,
out.
Yeah, she's holding grenades, or I thought it would have been interesting. She slipped on the gas and she drops the grenades, and before she pulled them, and then now she's trying to light the Zippo, and then it gets on top of her, and then she's trying to fight back,
Trying
and
to
then
reach for the Zippo,
trying to
and
reach
she
for
can't
the
get
Zippo,
it.
and then he you see him have it, and then you see the spore, it actually opening
Yeah.
her mouth, seeping through.
Yeah,
See,
and her
I
trying
think-
to fight back. That's
I
interesting.
it's
think-
more of a weird thing where it's just like, oh no, she's gonna kiss this thing, and then she's still doing the Zippo thing.
See, I think their mistake was keeping those things so short when they come out. If they showed maybe it's a little aggressive, kind of like how the xenomorph's little mouth is, in Aliens, where it's just really quick.
I want them to get ridiculous with it and
Yeah.
just go full Venom. I want to see
Yeah, something
Venom's tongue where it's
Yeah,
slapping
I think
around.
I think they probably thought of that and they're like, no, we can't do that.
That's way too Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's very Resident Evil-y. That's the thing.
That's very liquor.
Oh,
very
you know what?
liquor.
That's a good point.
Yeah, or
It's
maybe
very
I don't know. Like
liquor-esque.
maybe you can do something where it comes out of their. They could have done something where it comes out of their fingertips or something like that.
Could.
And just like it just kind of just like attacks your face, and you're just.
Do you think
See, and
Netflix,
I think that would have been interesting if it would have been attacking her face or burrowing, and cutting her,
cutting in. Yeah,
like cutting into her,
cutting into her mouth or whatever.
Or if it also would have been kind of cool if it would have been going through her eyes
or any sort
like
of
any orifice,
yeah.
like you just see it like on her eyes, and then it's
Yes.
like burrowing in, and then
Some
that's
real body horror stuff.
yeah, like give me some body horror if you're gonna do that, and
Yeah.
then that makes her open her mouth,
Yeah,
and then that's how it shoots in because
And
it's
she's-
something burrowing
and
into
she's
my
still
eyes.
struggling to try
She's
to do
still
a thing.
that's
She's, like,
a lot more.
screaming, yeah.
That's a lot more heroic.
'Cause,
of like
it's-
I'm trying to do it.
It's kind of way more confusing because it's kind of like, well, they're melding, and it is a hive mind, and they're becoming one, and
Yeah.
that's why she's so open and allowing of this thing to happen. But at the same time, she's also like, God,
Like the last,
kill me.
it's also the last vestiges of Tess.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it because that's what I told you right as the episode ended. I was like, it was interesting that she kept trying to do the Zippo, and you could see her coming, like taking over, but you could see her hands still going, and then like as soon as she hears the click of it turning on, she drops,
yeah.
and Ashley's becoming infected, and I think that was an interesting moment.
It's just an overall interesting episode, but not like the best, obviously. I mean, I still like episode 1.
It's still
Yeah.
still building.
There's a lot of small things that I just love, like even just like the shot where it's the shot from the video game where they're walking across the building on the little ladder.
Oh yeah.
And like how Allie goes and she's like, hey, after what just happened, this isn't scary at all. And I really love the small things that Pedro's doing with Joel's character, because when she's like, all right, go protect her, he just walks across it, doesn't look down, doesn't look to secure. He's a man that does not care about dying. He's a man that has given up on everything. He just walks across that bridge. He doesn't have any. He has no self-preservation.
The only reason that he has is really to protect Tess and his brother.
Yeah.
That's all he's trying to do. So like his goal right now is to get the car battery so I can go get
That was
my
the
brother.
only other problem I had with this episode, is at the very end Tess is like, go take him to Bill's town, and Bill and Steve are going to help him out. And just of my knowledge of the game, stuff like that, I was like, no, Bill would never do that. Bill is a kindred spirit of Joel, where he's just like, I'm going to stay here and fuck everyone else, and I'm not helping anyone. And
I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own thing, and no one's going to tell me any different.
Like, that's the whole reason that
He's
Steve leaves.
a doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And it's interesting. I can't wait to kind of see where they go because I'm interested.
Nick Offerman next episode.
Yeah, we get Nick Offerman and them, which also it looks like we get to spend a lot more time with them because it looks like you're going to get a lot more background.
It seems
for
like
them.
you're actually going to get to interact with his partner before
Frank.
Frank, there you go, before he disappears, and you're going to be able to see what
Might have happened.
because all you're really told is they get in an argument, Frank writes him a note, and then he finds
leaves.
him later.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for us to get to that moment inside of it where you get to really see, The Last of Us for being what it really is, because I want to see like Joel walking through and just murdering clickers. Like this is like, okay, we're in this mindset now. We're going to survive. We're making our way through. We're going to do whatever it takes. And being in a room full of clickers, I'm just going to have to start taking them out. And then him becoming like a professional person going through them, because I do remember inside of the very beginning, taking out clickers was very difficult.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then it becomes easier as the game goes on. I want that moment. I want that feeling of Joel and her are now a good team. They have survived the wild and come back.
And I think it's really at a really good pace, because I think at the end of the third episode we're going to be dealing with more zombies, more clickers. We get to meet some other people that are surviving in this world. But I think, and then episode 4 should be the very first time we start dealing with humans that are bad and bad people, and what that means in this world.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I think we all can't wait to kind of see where it is. Guys, let us know what you guys think.
I mean, I guess so far the show, with these, judging off of these 2 episodes, so far the show's been doing a good job.
Oh,
yeah.
of keeping me interested and wanting me to
Yeah.
see more.
I think it's like my favorite video game property that's been turned into a thing.
Definitely,
right
yeah.
now.
So
if,
far-
if there is, this is the gold standard.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the standard that everything else should seek itself
I
to.
love the meme that somebody did for it was like Game of Thrones. What was it? It was Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and The Last of Us, and then it was like everybody putting in swords, like it was like the Knights of the Round
Oh
Table.
yeah.
And it was all Pedro Pascal. It was just
Pedro
like-
Pascal, yeah.
There's one thing that
Yeah.
we may not agree with everything that these properties do, but
Yeah.
the one thing that we love, Pedro Pascal.
Definitely.
He can do no wrong so far. So
That's I was thinking too. Is like, do you think he put in his contract? That's why no spores, no gas masks. He already wears a helmet all the time on one show.
I'm already taking care of another
You
child.
got to be able to see the
in a
moneymaker.
mask.
yeah, the moneymaker needs to be seen in this one. I fell into that trap last time when I didn't read the contract.
I didn't read the
Now, I didn't,
They told me I was gonna have to wear a cool helmet, and I was like, okay, I'll wear it every now and then. And then
and now I'm stuck in it.
the whole show is based around me having to wear a helmet. Can you believe this?
Yeah,
I can't show this.
I can't show the moneymaker. I'm beautiful.
Yeah, I'm zaddy. Okay.
I am a beautiful man. Yeah.
I have a son.
But yeah, so that's gonna be it for us this week, everybody. You can, like always, you can go ahead and find us at all of our websites. You can find us at keepingupwiththenerds.com. You can find us on YouTube, Keeping Up with the Nerds at /YouTube.com. Go ahead and follow our socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Keeping Up with Nerds. Lucas, where can people find you if they want to keep in contact?
Or if you want them to know.
Do you want them to find you? Do you want to be?
Yeah, I'm
isolated?
at your boy 88. I
There you
make
go.
I make graphic designs and I make memes. So
Yeah, so if you ever need somebody to do your stuff, then absolutely hit up.
He is
Lucas.
actually going to do our thumbnail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'll
if
do
you
the
like,
thumbnail for
yeah,
this episode.
if you like this thumbnail in which
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but
We'll find out.
we're gonna gamble with it. So no, Lucas does amazing work. He does great work. I'm excited to see what he comes up with. But once again, follow everything else, and I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Rene, you want to close us out?
Yes. This has been Keeping Up with Nerds, issue 132. My name is Rene.
Nick?
Lucas.
Signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.